So Giles, the transport security side of the UK Security Expo has been quite important. Would you like to say how you find it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've actually only been involved in the maritime security part of it, and I chaired a session this morning that was particularly interesting. There were three major themes. One was the port security, particularly the issue of access control and ensuring that that is got right, which of course is also part of the ISPS code, and it's terribly important that people understand that there is very thorough guidance for port security that is in the interests of the nation in terms of critical infrastructure is done properly. So that was very useful, and there were some good presentations there. And then we had a short, slightly off-track one, but very relevant to the shipping industry in the way we're addressing cyber security. My own organisation, the other trade associations, at the beginning of this year pushed out guidance to ship owners and managers on cyber security and how to implement it within your company for your ships. But it was very ship-centric. And the presentation we got today actually focused on that obvious thing that we've now got to address, which we are doing formally next year, which is that ship-port interface. You cannot separate the two, both for trade and actually for cybersecurity. And the third one is that old shibboleth, piracy, which very unfortunately is still about. And indeed, a recent incident only, I think it was October the 22nd, a member of my organisation's vessel, a large German ship owner, was attacked by people who EU NAVFOR can now confirm were almost certainly pirates, but unsuccessfully because there was an armed guard team on board, because the risk profile of that vessel in terms of its freeboard and its speed made an armed guard team an essential for its protection transiting through the Somali Basin, which of course is in the high-risk area still.
And I understand with armed guards there are issues at the moment with due diligence. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we didn't actually discuss it that much this morning. I wish we could have, but the agenda didn't really allow it. But having mentioned it, then yes, one of the most important things that we are saying to our members and their company security officers is it's absolutely vital that thorough due diligence is done on the weapon licenses that are being used by the PMSCs. And the reason is that the vast majority of our members, excuse me, and others are using our standard contract GuardCon. And if the wrong weapon systems are being used, then of course that makes the contract null and void, even though they may be on that contract. If they're illegal or illegitimately held, then it makes the contract null and void, or certainly difficult to actually see through. So there's a legal term for that, I'm not sure what it is. So it is a really growing issue because there are potential liability issues, and so the due diligence issue is one that we're very much focused on still.
And how important is the UK Security Expo being to getting the message out and bringing the community together?
I think this is a very good vehicle for messaging. The UK is one of the prime providers of private maritime security companies. The kit and equipment that's here is some of the kit and equipment that they use in providing services to our Bimco members, for example. And when you have these sidebar conferences, it is possible to have interesting and open debate. And I had the opportunity as the chair to put back into the audience a final question in the plenary, and saying, look, if there were two things, one for a port and one for the shipping industry that security should address, one of the things that really fell out from a couple of people was port security has got to be improved in many parts of the world, not necessarily UK, but UK ships call these ports because of the lack of implementation of the ISPS code, which is seen in poor access control because of stowaways. And then, if a stowaway can get on board, so can a terrorist. If drugs can be smuggled, so can a weapon of mass destruction. It's a very simple analogy, but at the end of the day, it's a correct one.